Hello and welcome to UGC Highlander. I'm Sunny Star Mia here with Aces and with John the Stream, and we're excited to bring you Team MeanMode here today with Daratutu. Aces, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing yourself?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to a really great game. Now, this is a UGC week. Oh gosh, I'm the worst admin
Week
in the
4.
world.
It's week 4.
A week
I got
4.
you. I got you.
You got me. It's a week 4 official on COF Pro Viaduct RC3, and we're going to be seeing these two teams. They're in the silver division. They're at the top of silver right now.
It's Digital Alliance versus Team MeanMode.
Yep.
Slight mishap there. It can happen. We're human.
No, the tag is DA. The tag is DA. Don't get mixed up with Daratutu. They're about like 10, not 10, 5 divs below. But anyway, moving on. For those of you who don't know how this game mode works, UGC rules requires it to be played in 2 halves. The first half goes to the first team with 3 caps, and the game is played first to 4 final caps. Does that make sense to you, Aces, or am I just blurring my words up?
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay, so yeah, what do you think of this map?
Viaduct Pro is definitely a better map than the default Viaduct, of course, mainly because of the tunnels. I'm a big fan of it. There's definitely some opportunities to see some great crits work, especially because of the choke point on the left side. What's that called? Was a word for it. I keep forgetting it. The stone area, basically. Also the round the tunnel.
Oh right, yeah, I call it choke.
Yeah, basically it's one of the chokes. There are several chokes on this map, of course. But the last time I casted a map on this, casted a map like this, there were massive crits going left, massive crits going right, and I'm just expecting them to use the crits. But I usually I only see Ubers coming out as well, especially at the beginning. So I'm gonna definitely be looking at the Ubers. And hopefully see some nice medic play. And yourself, you are looking forward to see anything?
Myself, okay, the thing about Viaduct is it's a sneaky little map for spies and snipers. Them assassination classes are a pain in the ass, because you see, you've got the sniper deck up top, and that's basically, if you put a sniper up there, he can basically deny half the map, and he'll be totally safe up there, bar like spies and soldiers jumping and stuff. But, you know, if your team are watching their flanks and are spy checking correctly, then that just shouldn't be a problem. So you do have to focus sniper spies. There's so many little tricky hiding spots and ammo boxes everywhere because it's a COF map, and I think this is actually the smallest COF map used in a competitive league, which means that there's going to be lots of fallen weapons everywhere, and of course mini sentry fragments from those pesky engineers that put mini sentries
don't start
everywhere.
about mini sentries. I'm already crying as it is. Oh,
Yeah.
Especially on King of the Hill maps, but also, like you said, one of the smallest, if not the smallest King of the Hill map that's being used competitive. Seeing those mini sentries, every time I see them, every time they are being rebuilt, I die a little bit from the inside.
Yeah, as a heavy main, it makes me cry inside because it takes so long to take down from a medium distance. And they just have so much range, and it's so small. And you see these little slopes, like on each side of mid, sort of by the rock.
Yeah, you can basically put them there, yeah.
Yeah, and it covers half of it. But let's quickly go through rosters. If I take DA and you take Team MeanMode, who are correctly teamed up and in the correct classes. Right, so for Digital Alliance, which is on blue team, we have, give me a second, we have...
Hello?
I'm totally here, Steam Chat. We have Bolts on Scouts, Nuzzies on Soldier, Garden Fungus on Pyro, Yak on Demo, Heavy is Devil Hunter, Crut is NG, Medic is Verdancy, Sniper is Taff, and Spy is John.
Alright, and for Team MeanMode, red team, of course, we have Unequality on the Medic, Nimble Dick on Heavy, Gamer Freak 22 Scout, David the Win on the Pyro, Matt on Demo, Rafa Spy, and I believe Tomu on the Engineer.
Alright, the match has already started, unfortunately, and right now we are seeing 2 of DA down already. They're Scout and Sniper, and it looks like TMM are being really dominant on this map, taking a lot of space. Although John there goes in, stab on the Heavy, and Raph picks down the other Heavy in response.
And it looks like red team is indeed pushing heavily into that point. They are able to get some capture time in, but blue turning it around with the crits being popped. There we see the stickies, as I was saying previously, and they're able to take out the Scout. And it looks like they might be able to secure, but in fact, MeanMode pushing back severely, and of course body shots coming in left and right. Red Uber being popped as well, and it looks like they have been able to defend that midpoint successfully.
Yeah. That was a very long mid fight. Team MeanMode there going down to 4 players after that crit, but luckily an equity just dodged the crits and managed to get Uber to pop back in time. However, Team MeanMode really need to get onto this point because a lot of time has already passed and neither team have capped, and it's unusual to see a mid fight last this long. You can see that Blue have already got most of the team respawning back and will be able to push up, but all of MeanMode are up, so it's not going to happen anytime soon.
MeanMode just captured a point as well, and talking about MeanMode, they are the favorites of this match, so I hope of course that DA will pull out some nice tricks to rub it in the faces of the fans. Is that bad to say? I might be biased for the underdog.
So you can see most of DA here, they're holding on the cliff area. In fact, almost all of the team are on the cliff area, and you've only got Scout and Engie on the other side. They need to spread out their teamwork because that cliff can easily get spammed out. You can already see a round good mini sentry over on the other side by Tomu, and a lot of the cliff. Oh my god, Crits is popped! It's popped on Yax, takes down Mets, takes down on Equity, but the other demo and medic gone down. You see Tom goes down, Yak himself goes down to Nimble Dick. John goes down, Bones goes down, and so does Devil Hunter. Right now, DA are only 4 up. I'm questioning their power to cap this point, and you can see that they've already retreated back after that failed crits.
Yeah, MeanMode being very aggressive, and they are just capitalizing on the fact that DA is unable to really retaliate, and as you said yourself, they're not spreading out. So of course the demo is going to have a field day soldiers as well, and they can use the ability to flank them even more successfully because all the enemies are at one specific choke point. MeanMode just pushing forward, making sure that DA is unable to get even close to the point as time continues on. And DA in some serious trouble right now. They don't have the Uber advantage. Mean does have the Uber advantage, so even if they're able to push forward, once they have the Uber ready, it's just going to be directly counter-popped.
You can see DA here are still running crits. The medic here from the emergency is still holding in the lunchbox with his demo man, and whilst an equity there has an Uber and holding behind the point with her heavy.
Yeah, we do see another mid-fight coming in though. It looks like they're able to get some aggression in, but MeanMode just retaliating immediately. Blue on the tunnel right here. They are actually being forced back completely with the heavy and the medic, and just the defense of Mean is just impeccable.
Wow, you can see Team MeanMode there doing a really good play. They shot the heavy medic down by the slope, down by the canal, and they popped into DA. The spy shouted had crits, and Burnley, he just couldn't do anything. He had to pop crits, but he's just getting mowed down by heavy. That was really bad play on DA. They just weren't watching their flanks or weren't calling it out properly. Either way, Unequity and her heavy also go down because they were completely overextended into the enemy team. They stayed way too long overextended into enemy territory and just got picked off by the rest of DA, who managed to stay alive past that Uber.
Pink's picking up a very nice headshot on Tef right there. They are using the cliff constantly to engage any fights, and the snipers on Red Team, well, not snipers, the sniper is of course basically zoning out that entire cliff area, picking up headshots left and right. We see some very nice stabs coming in from John, but it's not going to be enough as MeanMode wins this particular round.
Wow, that was a really decisive round by MeanMode. DA didn't manage to cap that at all. There was still a whole 3 minutes left on the clock, and right now we are down to the second round here. Will you take away the mid fight for me?
I shall, as MeanMode comes in strong. It looks like they are not able to get close to the point just yet, as DA is pushing in, building the mini sentry there, very close to the tunnel. It seems to be annoying the red team quite successfully as they are able to push into the point. They currently have the advantage in numbers, if I'm not mistaken, as MeanMode actually turns it around once again and starts pushing forward over that control point, starting to actually get some time on it as well.
Yeah, you can see MeanMode's teamwork is working out really well for them. At the moment, DA just don't seem to have together. You can see them heavy medic with DA are pushing up the cliff again. But Unequity here will get 100% Uber and will have plenty of time to hold the point with most of the team up. You can see MeanMode already bombing onto the cliff because someone else has spotted out the heavy or medic. Devil Hunter is just a man by himself on the cliff right now. He's completely overextended without the rest of his team to help him. You can see a lot of the pushing onto the point already, but right now MeanMode are let them get some captures and they're going to push back, and that is what you see with Unequity popping onto her Demoman Metics. Unfortunately does not save a heavy in time, but does manage to push DA back.
Yeah, Devil Hunter the heavy for blue, of course, making some serious work on his own right there. And as pretty much it seems that blue has been forced back, I do have to admit that MeanMode starts off very defensive, but then completely turns around every single time around that mid fight, and they just keep it. And as I say that, DA coming out strong, getting very close to capping that point. It seems that they will. They finally retaliated. They have the Uber popped as well, pushing Red completely back as far as they can to make sure that they have as much time to, well, make sure that everybody regroups for the next attack that hopefully will soon be incoming as MeanMode is about to respawn. They have the mini sentries up. They have, of course, the spies in the backline trying to get the stabs going as the Pyro seems to be successfully in spy checking that. Blue very defensive right now. They are trying to get through the choke with the entire MeanMode team. But will it be enough? They don't have the Uber advantage yet. Uber advantage are pretty much equal right now. So as long as they hold back and try to get that 100%, we might see a nice fight incoming very soon.
You can see that I think what's happening for DA is that the engineer is doing a lot of work. You can see us teleporter there being set up in house with his team get to mid a lot faster, and already a dispenser and a mini sentry on the left hand side being rounded, being set up. This is going to be really hard to break because blue team have the supplies to keep it going. And Tomu there goes down to Devil Hunter, and you can see a lot of Team MeanMode here holding their right side lunchbox. They have 100% Uber, and Verdancy should have 100% Uber in response as well. The Uber is popped earlier for TMM right now, and DA do pop back.
Yeah, that counter pop was brilliantly as they're able to hold the point back. We might see a backstep. No, the spy gets basically air blasted out of the way. Perfectly played there by the blue Pyro. As well, blue in general seems to be able to hold that point. And it does seem to be that they switched up their tactics from very aggressive to a little bit more defensive, and it seems to be working out as they are unfortunately being pushed back by MeanMode right now, and they are able to capture that point, securing it as they are able to push blue DA completely back almost into spawn right here. And it seems to be very gnarly as red is just completely alive and well, not completely, almost completely, and as they are building up the Uber as well. We might see a nice Uber pop incoming from DA soon without the possibility of a counter pop. And as I say that the blue Uber gets popped, we see the air blasting, trying to keep the medic at bay, but the Pyro does die, and they push everybody away from that midpoint successfully.
Yeah, that was really good by DA. Verdancy was totally counting his Uber, and he knew he had the 20% Uber advantage. In the meanwhile, an equity does get disconnected from the rest of his team, but now has 100% Uber. However, Team MeanMode do not have the numbers right now or the position to contest this. They are getting really aggressive, but it's just Tomu, a lone engineer by himself, and his sentry gun does take down. The Uber is popped there on Medic with Nimble Dick, the heavy, to help him. And right now, I have a feeling Team MeanMode will be able to get this mid back. Oh, Hunter there, go to a headshot from Pinks. Pinks takes down the enemy sniper task right after him. Pinks is going huge right now.
Yeah, they are able. The Uber didn't really do a whole lot right there. The Pyro kept him at base successfully, but the entire MeanMode team was here. They're able to capture that point or defend it quite well. As blue is right now completely almost. Well, they almost got pretty much decimated. And right now, MeanMode's really looking very strong to hold that point for another minute or so, as they also have the Uber advantage. So even if, of course, blue comes out with an Uber, they can counter pop or they can preemptively pop it to basically bring out that medic once again. Whatever blue pulls out, it's going to be problematic if they don't do anything before the Uber is ready.
Yeah, we have an equity here with a 40% Uber advantage. He should be able to hold this point. He's safely held behind his cliff. He's on the left-hand side. He does pop to try and get Team MeanMode. They've been called out that Team MeanMode is trapped at the base of the cliff right now, but they don't seem to be able to make things happen. In fact, Raph and David the Wind go down. However, Garden Funkus and Devil Hunter, the enemy heavy, do go down in response. So we are seeing a lot of DA either hurt, and right now the crits is popped onto Yak, takes down the equity, takes down the heavy, takes down the demo, takes down the sniper. Wow, that is Yak there going huge, and that gives the point to DA again.
Yeah, Yak turning this entire game around, allowing DA to capture that point back, and if DA is able to hold this point for 30 seconds, they will win this round. This is definitely not a decisive match whatsoever. They really turn it around, as Red is trying to look for an opening. We see them around the choke, collecting the team as they actually bring down I can't even pronounce his name, the medic. The red medic goes down, bring the Uber advantage completely in DA's favor, as they are playing passive making
Whoa,
sure...
hold up. Raph there with a double stab on the heavier medic from DA. That is not enough splashing going on. But right now, TMM are 4 up right now, with DA being 4 up themselves. A lot of people are dead on either team. We're going to see some respawns in. But you can see Nimbledick is slowly edging onto the point right now after John shanks Unequity in her face.
Yeah, Ref with the double step was definitely key in turning this game around, as now MeanMode has captured this game. We are currently in overtime for DA, and it's very close for MeanMode. This is possibly one of the closest matches I've seen in my entire casting experience, which doesn't mean a whole lot because I'm only a recent caster, as DA moves on to the point strongly. And they actually managed to capture it, as they are able to just outnumber MeanMode right there. This was one hell of a close match. Damn.
May I say, only 6 seconds there left on the clock for TMM, so that was indeed very close. I really did like the response from TA, and now we are looking at the third mid fight, and it seems that Metix is the Devilman who is faster to mid. However, he does get taken down by Taff. Will you take away the rest of the mid fight for me?
I certainly will. It looks like both teams are currently hesitating to really go in, as the red spy tries to get some very nice stabs, but he is forced out of the equation. As we see, of course, the red medic Nimbledick pushing forward with his medic, or at least the red heavy with his medic pushing forward and basically zoning out the entire blue team. They're securing the red point as they are pretty much pushing back blue as they are retreating up to the cliff. They actually have a teleporter up there, surprisingly enough. We see the engineer building down on that slope as they are trying to make an opening, trying to hold their own. But MeanMode just having the numbers, just having the presence, and forcing DA completely out of that mid.
The crit is up there from DA onto Yak, takes down Game Freak, but Unequity pops the crit back. Him and his heavy are incredibly overextended by the enemy house right now, and the Pyro does manage to get back into them. Will he take him down? No, God of Fungus does not manage to take down Unequity, and right now DA are losing a lot of important classes right now. No medic, no Pyro. The heavy has only just respawned.
Yeah, we got a very nice pick there by the blue scout on the red medic, basically completely ruining their sustain, and they are forced back to mid, if not even further, if they can capitalize on this moment. DA is, however, trying to get back on that cliff constantly, and of course MeanMode knows this, and they are definitely trying to abuse that fact, keeping them in that cliff as red re-establish their group with the respawns coming in surely. But DA currently coming out strong on that midpoint, and hopefully trying to get some time as they are trying to capture that point quickly.
Yeah, DA trying to push in as a team on the other side. However, a lot of the teammates are mute, which definitely does not help with capturing the point. A lot of DA are actually really hurt right now. Nuzzy is down, Yak is down, Krut is down. There's 6 up, and Team Mimo with their entire team should be able to push onto this point with ease, although they a lot more people. Uber is popped back for DA, which should push back Team Mimo. That was really good play there by Verdancy and his demo and his Pyro. Although he does get taken down by a body shot from Raph.
Yeah, Ref using his ambassador, I believe, just to casually shot him in the body right there, taking that medic out, as red will capitalize as well on the fact that the blue just doesn't have the numbers to hold them back. They have captured the point back as well. And now they will sustain, I believe, and just wait for the next fight. They don't have uber advantage because, of course, their medic went down. We see about 30% on the blue. So if they can keep that, we might see... No, as I say that, he actually gets taken down there by a beautiful headshot by Pinks, pretty much ruining their entire sustain as well as uber chance, uber advantage. And it looks like Red is keeping that midpoint successfully.
Yeah, with no heals up and an entire team though, it looks like they are going to slowly push onto this point. I say that, and then Wrath gets a stab onto Devil Hunter, and then Pinks gets taken down as well. Wow, that is a lot of people down for both teams. I'm not quite sure what's going to come out of this, although it does look like the upper hand, although Unecti and his medic are doing the best right now. Verdancy there takes down Wrath with an Ubersaw after Wrath takes down Taff. Wow,
yeah, we almost saw a complete team wipe there for the AF, and they picked up the control point. But now, of course, MeanMode going back on that point, since DA didn't have the numbers, they completely had a wipe right here, so they are abusing that fact as they are pushing in strongly. But both Ubers ready now. We might see a pop real quickly. The blue spy being way overextended. There are the crits, but the counter Uber is popped. pretty much invulnerability against more damage. Invulnerability will all win all day, every day. And it seems that thanks to that, they are able to hold that point, pretty much decimate everybody with Nimble Dick. And it looks like it's going to be in favor of MeanMode. And as I say that, Blue coming out strongly, going to get some time on that control point. But Nimble Dick and his bullets being very vicious.
Yeah, you can see that Team MeanMode do have the correct position to go up. At the moment, right now, DA are getting really desperate. Verdancy takes down Nimble Dick with an Uber Sword. That was really brave. And right now, it's going into overtime. However, DA only 4 up right now. To keep pressuring the point, you can see people are just jumping onto the point right now. Will TMM manage to hold this on time? It's just a sniper with a Kukri, and the engineer on point on the equity is healing sniper right now.
Yeah, Yak getting I believe stabbed right there by the MeanMode spy. That was his the last line of defense, got taken out by a nasty backstab. I hate the instant kill button, but it is how it is. Wonderfully played by both teams, but MeanMode just getting the edge right there. Take away the mid fight, Mia.
Alright, yep, we are going to the 4th round right now, and the first casualty there is Metic's Bounce there, getting into people's faces. Nuzzles goes down to Tom, and Harak goes down himself, as well as the other spy. That a great headshot there by Cass, takes down enemy heavy. That is Nimble Dick there carrying, not being able to put out a lot of damage for his team. Devil Hunter extended onto the point right now, does get taken down by Game Freak. And this will mean a cap to DA though, although they only have 4 up right now. We're going to be seeing a push in by Team MeanMode very soon. And a pause. And we also see a pause.
Pause
right.
is of course the strongest of enemies right now. But holy hell, this game is... I can actually see the tactics change as they go along. It's quite wonderful, especially in those 2 first matches. We saw DA becoming very aggressive, MeanMode being a little bit passive. Overall, then DA became a little bit more passive.
So we are receiving word that TMM's Mumble died. If you guys need to use a Mumble, feel free to use my one. In other news, what do you think of the tactics that DA are doing right now? They keep switching between crits and Uber, whereas Team MeanMode are just running Uber the whole way through.
Yeah, talking about Ubers, like as I stated before, these wonderful matches happened, I like to see the crits. I'm a big favor of crits in King of the Hill matches because everything is pretty close together, especially on Viaduct, as it is one of the smallest King of the Hill maps out there that is used in competitive, as you so generously stated. But I think that if you don't get the upper hand and use that crits to basically demolish the enemy team, if they can counter pop their invulnerability on you, your entire crits becomes useless. And you can definitely tell that if they get a good pop, they win everything. But if they don't, they can't really come back from that because invulnerability is that much more powerful. So I would hope that they will switch and permanently keep the invulnerability. But every time they do that, I'm not sure if you have seen that, the MeanMode Pyro is able to air blast them constantly when it comes down to the invulnerability. So they basically are forced in a way to use the crits, I feel like, to make sure that they can get something out of it.
You see, what's happening is Verdancy is switching between crits and Uber to be unpredictable. Every time Verdancy dies about the same time as on Equity, he switches to Kritzkrieg because Kritzkrieg builds twice as fast as Uber. So by the time he has Kritzkrieg, on Equity will not have Uber in time, so all he has to do is crits Devilman. And Yak, he's been doing a lot of work this past game, and he is getting a lot of kills, and that does mean that Team MeanMode either have to hold scared and let them have the point, or they do have to face some crit stickies in their face.
Yeah, the crit streak does build up a little bit faster than the Uber. That's a very good point, especially if they do see that they die about the same time. But if they can take out that medic before they actually hit it, which we saw some very nice headshots as well, it's always going to be a gamble, especially considering the sniper positions I find on this particular King of the Hill map. So well, I'm definitely gonna keep looking at the medics, see what they continue to
we
use.
haven't unpaused. We haven't unpaused, and we have ice skating players, and we have broken HUDs. So we're sorry that the things aren't shown properly. But an equity there goes down to back from John. That was really great work there by John.
Yeah, broken HUD's always the most wonderful of things, as it looks like MeanMode keeping that midpoint to themselves without too much problems. We see DA, of course, still camping that cliff area, and they are waiting for the team to regroup, as we see a very nice spy there, getting a very nice backstab on Yak, pretty much decimating that demo, as they are looking for an opening to push in with the entire DA team.
Yeah, you can see that DA might be able to get this point to have a lot of numbers up. A lot of capture time on the point, but they just don't have the numbers right now. And you can see MeanMode are getting really dominant, and they're just keeping back DA with spam that they're just laying down. At the moment, DA's positioning seems to be very solid. They just keep pushing up the right-hand side, which I'm sure is not the best for them, because that just means that they're getting predictable. The Uber there is popped onto Yak right now. Surprise Uber from the cliff. Doesn't manage to get anyone else of yet, but Tommy is the first guy to go down, and Devil Hunter takes down Raph. And Garden Fungus goes down in response, although Pink goes down to a skill stick from Nuzzies. A lot of people down on each team, basically.
Yeah, we saw DA going a little bit too deep into enemy territory. They weren't able to get a lot of kills with that invulnerability, and they're MeanMode able to pretty much abuse that fact and completely ruining the lives of DA and pretty much keeping that control point secure as they regroup and make sure that everything is alright, as the DA team should be coming in any second now. And it looks like once again they are keeping indeed to that cliff. I'm not sure if they have a specific tactic for that, but every time they do that we can see the spam coming in. We see of course the scouts trying to get some very nice picks, and it's questionable, I have to say.
Yeah, the thing about it is going up the cliff gives you a lot of high ground, but when you're on the cliff you can get spammed down very easily because it's such a tight place and they can force you onto ground. You can see Verdancy there. His Uber very fast pops it on to gain position with his team. Doesn't manage to get anyone though. Raph there takes a stab on Devil Hunter as the Uber gets flashed. Well timed, takes down Verdancy as well. Raph they're going huge onto the other team, but right now TMM are only 5 up right now. Would they be able to cap this? You can see DA should be able to do this. John there takes down on Equity as well. Both medics are dropping like flies to spies on this map.
We see a very nice headshot there from Tef on the enemy engineer. We see a lot of stabs going out as well by both John and Raph. Completely centered as decimated by the DA spy as well. DA coming out very strong right now. They have the control point, but can they hold it? Every time it's a back and forth. They are pretty much behind on time, if I am not mistaken. My HUD is currently broken as well. I do apologize for that if I'm wrong. But it seems that they are very strong right now to hold the midpoint, and they're currently able to do so. As it seems that MeanMode is trying to go for an opening, but DA finally using that defensive side of their skills to their advantage. And it looks like it's pretty much equal right now.
Yeah, it is. On Equity and Verdancy are down again, I believe. Yes, my scoreboard has been updated and my HUDs are back. Again, both medics are down, not enough people to be alive. And Equity does manage to get back up though, and Team MeanMode are just bullying DA out of this. Although you can see John there getting up behind the point. Does get spotted out by Tomu just in time though.
Yeah, we see MeanMode just capping that control point without any kind of resistance after they, well, pretty much pushed back the entire DA team. We see Yak going high-fee with the sticky jump on that control point. He just, well, he fell through the air right into the enemy teams as he is trying to desperately to extend that cap for the red team, trying to buy some time, I suppose, as they are also trying to find an opening to go back to that mid game, but MeanMode just holding their ground, and they are not letting anyone through.
Yeah, wow, we can see yet again another decisive round by MeanMode, as the Uber is popped by on Equity onto the point just to ensure that DA don't get this. Now this is the end of the first half. It's currently 3-1 to MeanMode, and look at the dominations from Team MeanMode on the board. That scoreboard just says it all, really.
Yeah, they are pretty much coming out very strong, to say the least. It definitely shows that MeanMode has a reason to be a favorite, and it's sad to see right now that they Yeah, dog is not really being the top dog, but we still have a second half to go through. I'm feeling confident for the underdog.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
I've seen some crazy stuff happen on Viaduct. It's one of those ones where a break can really do a lot for your team, just to get together and be like, okay guys, we're doing something wrong. And I really hope for DA's sake that they're listening to us and they do not push up the right hand cliff again, because if they do push up the right hand cliff again, I'm just gonna scream and say GG. Because yeah,
please don't scream on the stream.
I'm not gonna scream on the stream. I won't.
Yeah, they are using that cliff constantly, and it's being used against them. And maybe they have a specific tactic they are trying to pull off, but as long as they keep going through the same way, the enemy team, in this case MeanMode, is going to abuse that fact, because then you become predictable, and if you become predictable, you become easier to get or to become countered.
And we are up to the 5th round right now, the first round of the second half. Team MeanMode only needs one more cap to win this, so DA do have to pull something spectacular out of their pockets. Will you take away this fight?
I certainly will, as DA gets a little bit too aggressive. We see the members dying left and right as they are too deep on the enemy side of things. We see a very nice stab there by John on Pinks, but Raph getting guard Fungus down as well. It's a stab for a stab right there. Looks like they are pretty much equal in numbers. And as I said, MeanMode actually has more vitalities, but they are able to get on that point first, and they might actually take away the first cap as well.
Team MeanMode there does have the better positioning. And wow, there, equity does go down to something I didn't quite see it. Not Team MeanMode, my bad. Color switch. Digital Alliance there has the better positioning. They did manage to get onto the high ground before the other team. Pinks there gets taken down by a sniper. He changed his name, Cap, I believe. Game Freak there takes down Tree Gun. We're seeing about even numbers for both teams. However, Verdancy does have a massive 70% Uber advantage right now and should be able to hold on to this point for longer.
Actually, he is completely ready with the Uber as long as my HUD is not broken, I believe, and their Uber has been popped as they use it to build in some aggression, or use that for aggression purposes, trying to bring down the medic from MeanMode. Damn, the color switch is indeed a little bit frustrating, but it looks like they, thanks to the Uber, they can actually, well, control that completely in that mid, as they're able to push back the entire DA team right there. Once, is that DA? No, it's MeanMode. I'm confused. I'm so sorry.
And right now you can see Team MeanMode there going for the cliff push right now, but instead it's actually working. The Uber is popped up the right hand side for them, up by, I call it the dog loaf. You'll hear about that after. And right now they should be able to cap this point with ease, as DA are 4 down right now, and they don't look like they're going to be recovering anytime soon, although Verdancy will have Uber very soon. He is building back with his team.
Yeah, it looks like DA currently having that Uber advantage, so we might be seeing some powerful push coming in on that control point, as they definitely need to bring that down. But it looks like the Uber has been popped, but does it turn into anything? I don't think it really does, as they are currently fighting around the choke. It seems to be in favor of MeanMode, as they have the high ground advantage. They're just mowing down.
Verdancy dies to a heavy. I'm not quite sure why he was positioned so aggressively, but that was not the best positioning, and that will mean that Team MeanMode will be able to hold on to this point for even longer. You can see Yak there going in for the bomb, takes down Medics, takes down on Equity, does a lot of damage onto Nimbledick before finally getting taken down himself. I think that's what DA needed to push onto this point. Oh no, never mind. Devil Hunter gets taken down.
It was what they needed. They just didn't have the follow-up, because of course MeanMode turning that around on them, as they are able to control the point even longer now. They currently have the advantage in time as well, as DA tries to come in, trying to find an opening, actually using the cliff once again, sticking to that cliff side of things. And MeanMode just casually holding back, spamming their general projectiles, trying to peel off their health bars, as DA goes in with the heavy. No backup from the medic. It seems that the pyro is behind enemy lines, as he's trying to...
Oh my god! Tomu gets the drop on Verdancy with a crit flare. Tomu there have some sneaky pyro work, doing a heck of a lot of action, but unfortunately Team MeanMode are 4 down right now. They sticks all over the point, and DA are getting enough respawns, and they should be able to cap this in time.
Yeah, that was some wonderful pyro play right there. It seems that DA is almost able to capture that point, but It's just not enough, as MeanMode is able to hold down that once again. Looks like they are able to just wait right now, wait them out. They do. DA does have the uber advantage, about 40%. So if they are able to get that percentage up to 100, they might be able to push in and capture that point back if they do it well. And even before they get 100%, they capture that point back as they push in MeanMode all the way back away from that point. And just let's hope that they can hold it out right now.
That was a really good team push there by DA. They didn't even need to wait for an Uber to do that. You can see Wrath there going down to the heavy. John goes down to a roller. Ascension also goes down to Wrath. And he is doing so much work right now. He takes down Verdancy. Pinks takes down Devil Hunter to help him. Wrath takes down Yak as well. That is no power classes or medic up for DA right now. And there's another pause, but Team MeanMode should be able to get this.
It seems that I actually am reconnecting.
Yes.
60 seconds.
There is a bit of server lag.
Yeah, we're just experiencing some usual TF2 technical difficulties. I think everybody is well known with certain disconnects in the Half-Life 2.exe. Gotta love them.
Yeah, you gotta love them. So,
Yeah.
in the meanwhile, let's talk about the players. So, right before the server kicks us, who do you think is doing really well on each team? Who have you noticed?
Individually, you mean?
Yes, individually.
That I think I can't really say specifically from the MeanMode side because they are just so good as a whole. I can't specifically pinpoint any particular player in MeanMode. And since I have a very bad memory in names, I might not be able to pick up the name of the DA player. But I saw some very let's see. I can't remember, I'm so sorry. My brain is kind of shutting down right here. Like, I'm really bad with names. I can remember pictures for days, but when it comes down to names, let's just say it's one that I know my own name. But let me give me some time to
Okay, I'll give you a hand. I'll give you a hand here. All right.
I'm a little bit derping. I do apologize.
No, it's fine, it's fine. Personally, okay, I'm gonna do a who's hot and who's not right here. It's gonna get a bit bitchy. It's gonna get a bit bitchy up in the stream.
Brace yourself.
I'm not swearing like last time. Russian told me off for swearing. I don't think I'm doing it that much this time, so there you go. For DA, who's doing a lot of work? Let me think. I think it's their... Let me just look at the roster again. I can tell you who's not doing well, and that is the heavy Devil Hunter, who doesn't seem to be sticking with his demo that much and does seem to be overextending and getting himself killed a lot. So bad positioning there from Devil Hunter.
Yeah, I did see him getting killed and getting a little bit too deep, as well as he didn't have an Uber or anything, and he just was hugging the enemy team. Hell, he was dancing in the middle of the enemy team a few times as well. I believe it was this particular round for MeanMode, the Pyro. He stood out for me with his beautiful Pyro play as well. Doing some wonderful work there.
The Pyro for Team MeanMode, that's Tomu. Yeah, he was great. I would have given him the best player for TMM as well. Just for that flare drop on the medic.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what stood by with me. But then again, I am perhaps a little bit biased because I do like to play Pyro myself. So, take that with a grain of salt. But that was a beautiful flare right there.
For DA, who I'd say was doing well was the demo man Yak. Did you see that bomb in where he got the demo and the medic while they were holding and basically opened up with his team? That was great. Yeah, carry on.
Stick is indeed the bane of pretty much every TF2 player's existence, I find. Would you say, to be honest, a skilled demo man, is that possibly the best class in game?
Demo man is the class which can deal the most damage in the entire team, and he's got a lot of flexibility because he can sticky jump, and he's got almost 100 speed. He's got 97% speed. That's almost 100. He's definitely the most powerful class in the game in my book. Now I'm gonna choose not hot for TMM. Let's see. Who do you think was not hot? You did it first, so I don't feel as mean.
Overall for
TMM?
DA? TDM, sorry. overall, yeah, that's hard to say because they did really well though. Like we saw as you saw, if we press tab, we saw the entire list of dominations. It's really hard to say who's not hot because they are at least they are pretty decently warmed up, every single one of them.
I didn't see that much happening from the. Well, I honestly think I'm gonna have to pick on an equity here. Some of his positioning was, I don't know, a bit like he would push into the enemy team and overextend with his heavy, which is totally fine if you want to go for an aggressive Uber, but he wasn't so quick on getting out. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I did see him getting picked off a few times because he was overextended, but their entire team was very aggressive as well, so I kind of figured that he was just going there, and since he is, of course, the medic, if I'm not mistaken, he's just the main target, of course.
So, we've received word. Okay, we have received word, because the lovely viewers cannot hear John, that a player from Digital Alliance accidentally shut down the server after Team MeanMode won the round. So that's 4-2 to Team MeanMode. GG.
Yeah, and deserved what? It was a 5-1, if I'm not mistaken? From the top of my head?
Huh? It's, no, it's played first to 4 final caps. So
Oh,
that,
sorry.
yeah.
Different rules. My bad.
That's 4-2.
Yeah,
it's
4-1, sorry.
Shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was thinking back.
I need to go to bed.
I was thinking back at the before the cast started. We saw some predictions in the chat, and I was thinking back about that. Like I predicted 2 wins from DA because underdog, please be top dog. But yeah, it turned out to be 4-1 right there.
So, do you have any shoutouts? I'm sure you want to give some shoutouts to your loyal fans who are in chat right now.
Yeah, a lot of my people. Can I say that? Can I say my people? That sounds so bad. Anyway, some of my community that I have been able to build up on Twitch as well as on YouTube are present in the chat. If the pack wants to go out there and let them know who the pack is, that would be wonderful. We see the pack slowly typing in chat. That's wonderful. Thank you guys for coming out and watching me catch or listening to the cast. I have to go to bed as well, apparently, Mia. It seems so.
Yeah, I was casting for Vanilla TV yesterday as well, so I'm just very, very tired, and I'm getting stuff wrong like Devilman speeds, and I'm being told by stream chat to go to bed. And I can't because I have another official soon, and it's horrible. But I don't think I'm really going to do any shoutouts apart from one to my Sixes team, I think. We have our last official tomorrow for the season. And also, I implore all of you guys to switch over and watch some great Sixes action on Vanilla TV right now. I'm morally obliged to plug them because I plug them. So do that.
Morally.
Morally obliged, yeah.
Morally, quote unquote, right?
But anyway, legally, whatever, it's okay. But let's wrap this up. This has been Sunny Starmia casting with Aces / Wolves Go Raw, and you have been watching a UGC Silver Week 4 match between Team MeanMode and Digital Alliance. Tune in the future at Blackout TV for some great TF2 competitive action.